Hello my dear friend, I hope you are doing great. Welcome back to my channel. If you have not subscribed it, please subscribe it, press the bell icon, hit the like button also. Friends, as you know, we have already covered up to article 52, that is the president, that there shall be a president. Now I am going to discuss what are the election procedure to be followed for the president, what are the requirements, what are the qualification, and is it what type of system we are following the election of the president. Because there was a deliberation in the Constituent Assembly what should be the procedure to get elected the president. Earlier, we are following the indirect system of the election for the president. What do you mean by indirect election? Generally, when we are going to elect any MP or MLA, then we have to go in the polling booth and we have to give vote any of the members, and by this way we are getting elected our MP or MLA in the direct method. Indirect method means we are going to vote any MP or MLA, then they would give vote to the president. On the basis of their value of the vote, we would count, or we will declare winner for the president. This is the indirect procedure. And why for the MLA or MP we are following the direct election method, and for the president we are following the indirect election method? Because there is a condition, there is a issue. Some of the members were saying that yes, we should conduct the direct election. In the Constituent Assembly there was a deliberation over the president election, and some of the members were saying that we have to conduct direct election so that our this is the highest post in our India, and in the order of the preference he is the first citizen of India, then we have to conduct direct election for that post. But some of the members were against this idea, and they gave suggestion, yes, it would be a very cumbersome of our economy, because in the 1950 our economy was not viable or to conduct a large scale election, because we know that our population is so much, and if we have to conduct election for the whole population, then it would require a huge amount of money. And in the 1950 itself it was very big task to collect or to accrue all the resources and all the money for the election. That's why our Constituent Assembly support the indirect election. That's why at present and we are following the indirect election. And one of the reason was that if there would be a clash between the MP or PM or president, if the president would be the direct elected person, then he might say in the future, yes, I am the person who got elected by the direct election. Then what is the need to agree with your point? Means he can say to the PM, because PM is directly elected by the people. And you know that already we have discussed that it is the mention in the article 75. Yes, there is 74, means there shall be a MP and council of MP or that council of minister and the PM, and it is binding on the president to advise all the tendered by the PM or council of minister. But if right now, because we are, or the president is following such norms, because the president is the indirectly elected and PM is elected by the directly to the people, that's why the decision is binding on the president. That's why we have conducted the indirect election. And you can use this statement for your mains examination also, because sometimes you will encounter such type of questions in the mains examination. And in the article 55 there is a mention that manner of election of the president, as far as practicable, there shall be uniformity in the scale of the representation of the different state of the election of the president. Means there should be uniformity in the election of the president. If you are finding any small state or a person having command in the seven sisters of the northeast, or the plus one is Sikkim. Means if we would follow first past the post system, FTF, first PFP, first past the post system. And the because for the president we are following the proportional representation system, PR system, proportional representation system. And do not worry about this thing terms, I am going to elaborate all the things in the meticulous manner so that you would able to understand. First past the post system, that if whenever vote like is polled by the people, if I would talk about the previous election, like a BJP got 282 votes, means BJP government got majority in the election, 282 votes, and they were able to accrue 31% of the polled votes. Means whatever votes polled, among them 31 votes in the favor of the BJP, and but their seats was 282. That is the first past post system, because we are not counting here the more than 50% votes would be the winner. No, we are following the first past the post system for the MP and MLA votes. And if a person is able to get highest number of the votes in that election, highest number of the seats in that election, then he would declare winner. That even if a whole India was constituted into the 543 constituency, and number of MLA was 543 in the Lok Sabha, and each and every constituency have one representative for themselves, each and every political party, and we have to give vote for the favor of our political leader. That is the procedure for the MP and MLA election, first past post the system. Means whoever is getting highest number of the votes in their favor, he would declare winner. That is the first past post the system. Like if I would talk about the BSP, Bahujan Samaj Party, that Bahujan Samaj Party was able to accrue 4.2% of the vote, but unfortunately they were able to accrue only 0 seats. Means they were not able to accrue any seats in our election conducted by in 2014. How? Because they might have able to accrue 4.2% of the vote, and in the order of preference they were at the 3 number of the votes polled, they were at the 3. But that was the gruesome or typical situation for them, because no candidate was able to accrue highest number of the votes in their constituency. That's why the unfortunate condition for them. If we were following the proportional representation system, then they might be that party would be then position, because in the proportional representation system generally we are taking if party is able to accrue 10% of the vote, as per the ratio of the 543, 10% vote would be along with them. Means near about the 50 or 55 votes would be in the poll of that party. Means that is the proportion in the proportion of them, they were able to accrue the votes, then in the proportion of them they would allotted seats. Then it would be a new condition. And unfortunately right now we are following the first past post the system, in which if a party is able to accrue near about the 10,000 votes, let's suppose if a party is able to accrue 10,000 votes, and or we can say that a party is able to accrue 1,000 votes, another party were able to get only 200 votes, another party got 100 votes, then among the 3 party, 100 or 1,000 votes is highest among them. That's why he would declare the winning party, he would declare winner. But can you imagine, this is the harsh reality of our election, because among them, if there would be 2000 vote, among them, like near about the 50% of people are against them, still they are declaring winner. This is the situation in the first past post system, FP, first past transfer post system, PT. And proportional representation, we are following the proportional representation system for the president election. What do you mean by the proportional representation? Proportional representation means according to the share percentage of the votes accrued by them, like we are allocated seats. Means like each and every state should get preference in the, even like article 55 is talking about the, in the proportion of their population the vote would be counted. Like generally, if a small state having states having less number of people, then the vote of that MLA would be, value of the vote of the MLA, that would be less. If we will count the MLA of the UP, then there is a larger population in that area, then value of the MLA over there would be more and higher than. This is the like a ratio we have to maintain for the president election. I hope I'm able to make you understand about the proportional representation system and first past the post system. The another thing is that for the president election we have to follow like a already I have told you the first proportional representation system. Now, and we have discussed also indirect election and direct election. And if I will talk about the vote of the MP, value of the vote of MP, the total number of the votes of the total value of the votes of all MLA by total number of the elected MP, means value of the vote of the MP is equal to the total number of the value of the total value of the votes of all MLA, total value of the all MLA, votes of the all MLA by total number of MP, then it would be the value of the MP vote. And if I will talk about the like a value of the vote of the MLA, the total population of the states, means value of the MLA is equal to total population of the states by total number of the elected MLA in legislative assembly, means how many member of the legislative assembly got elected in legislative assembly into 1 by 100, 1 by 1000. This is the procedure to calculate the value of the MLA. And further, like if we are going to calculate the value of the vote of MP, then number of the total value of the all the MLAs by the number of the MP got elected in the election. This is the procedure we have to follow each and every time to calculate. Means we have to keep this thing in our mind that according to the population of the that area, we are accounting the value of the vote of the MLA or MP. Means for the president election, each and every person like equally responsible, or they are having equal amount of stakes in their vote count. And that proportional representation system, I have already told you what is the proportion. Now we are going to jump to the single transferable vote. Single transferable vote STV, means we have to give preference. Means if I would give an example of the one candidate, like there is a column. If here I am mentioning candidate A, B, C and D. If that 40% that I am giving first preference to A, B fourth preference, third preference and second preference. If first of all we have to count that about the first preference of the people, means how many members give first preference to the candidate A. If they were able to like or he will able to accrue more than 50% of the shares of the first preference of the people, then who would declare as a winner in that proportion single transferable vote. means one vote is getting transferred to the others. Like let's suppose it gets 40%, the second goes 30% first preference, and 20% and 10%, means D would able to only like 10% votes as their first preference. Suppose like nobody is able to accrue more than 50% in this person, then we will neglect the D, because it goes like he goes minimum number of as their first preference of the people. That's why we will neglect it, and that then we would count the second preference. How many people give second preference to the A? This would we count. Means let's suppose 2% of the people give first preference to him, and like 7% to and 3% to him. Then like that would be the more 42%. Still like we are not able to find our winner in this process. Then we will neglect this C also. Then we will count that in the third round of the counting, how many people give third number of preference to the people. Like if a first one is able to more than 50 get more than 51% votes, then he would declare as a president. This is the proportion single transferable vote. One vote is getting transferred. Means in the first counting we have to count that if a person is able to accrue that for, like more than 50% as the first preference of the votes, then we will declare him winner. And we have to keep this thing and find that is called single transferable vote. One vote is getting transferred to, generally in the first round we are counting that how many members, how many people give first preference to the A, means, or in the second round if we are not able to find more than 50, then we will count the second preference, how many people give second preference to the A. If same like we are not able to find, then we will count again the how many people third preference give third preference to the A. This is the procedure we have to follow, and like that lowest number of the people we will deduct, or we are shunting out, and we will count all the votes in the second preference itself. Now if a till now like a no need to, we have not need to like calculate the second preference, but in the 1969 when the VV Giri was the president, we have counted the second preference. Like if I will take an example of the Ramnath Kovind, then he was able to accrue 65% of the votes in the as the first preference of the people, and the Meera Kumari was able to get near about the 34% of people first preference. That's why Ramnath Kovind as a president, incumbent president right now. This is the procedure we are following the for the single transferable vote. And if I will talk about the Article 56, that Article 56 is talking about that the president tenure is the 5 years, but before 5 years there would be vacant post, but we have to fulfill, because already I have told you in the Article 50 there shall be a president, means it is a compulsion to have president. If a president is giving resignation to the vice president, it is binding. We have, for the preliminary perspective, we have to keep this thing in mind. It is binding for the vice president to accept resignation of the president, and within the for the 6 month vice president would act as a president, and after or within the 6 months the election should be conducted, then only the new president would be getting elected. This is the procedure we have to follow. If a vacancy would be there like in the death of the case, and resignation would there in the impeachment. What is the impeachment? Now I am going to tell, because this term is only used for the president. If a president is in the condition of the violation of the constitution, then he or she would be impeached from the process. There is a lengthy process for the impeachment right now that I am going to tell you. What is the for the preliminary perspective I am telling you, if I will talk about the president tenure, it can extend beyond the 5 years also, because till the time the next president is not we are not able to elect a next president due to any insurgency or due to any national emergency, then that tenure of the president can be extended further more than beyond the 5 years. And already I have told you the resignation of the president is binding on the vice president. And Article 57 is talking about the eligibility for the re-election. Means Irish constitution have imposed there is a limit of the 2 times getting elected as a president. In even USA we are following, they are following the 2 times cap. Means a president can be can get elected by the 2 times. If I will take example, was like George Bush or the Obama, they were elected the twice. And India have no such type of caps. Means a number of times a president can get elected through the election system. And Article 58 talking about the what are the qualification. Means first of all he should be the citizen of India. The first qualification is he should be the citizen of India, and the second qualification is the 35 years age he has to attain for the get elected as the president of India. And qualification for the election of MP should be fulfilled by him. Means he should be eligible to become an MP, then only he would able to become president. This is the one of the qualification. And that next one is the he should not hold any office of profit. Office of profit I will discuss in the further lecture. For the your knowledge, right now I am telling little bit. If you are having any post from which you are getting benefit, that is called the office of profit. That person should not hold, then he would able to eligible to become president of our India. And next, that article 60 about the oath and affirmation, that after getting elected then president should take oath and affirmation. And can you imagine that we are having different type of oath and affirmation for the president post. It is the solely responsibility of the president that if he is the atheist, then he would take oath, or he is not non-believer of the God, then he will take, or he or she would take affirmation. And he will say that I will swear on the name of the God, and I will execute the office of the president. I preserve, protect and defend the constitution. This would be the wording for the oath and affirmation for the president. Means it is the responsibility, solely responsibility of the president to preserve, protect and defend the constitution. And there is a condition for the impeachment of the president, that if he is in the violation of the constitution, then he would be in the liable to get impeached from the office. And what are the procedure that is mentioned in the Article 61. Article 61 talked about the if a president is in the violation of the constitution, he would liable to get impeachment from the post. And this impeachment term is only used for the president post, and for the another post we are not using impeachment term. That process defined in the state in the first of all, the person, already that violation of the constitution is not defined in the constitution, but the process of the impeachment of a president is clearly mentioned in the constitution itself. And it may be start from the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This is the first condition. Means it may be start either house of the parliament. And first of all, 1/4 of the either house of the members, they have to give notification to the speakers. 1/4 of the, if let's suppose we are initiating the impeachment process for the Lok Sabha, 1/4 member of the Lok Sabha, they would give notification to the speaker. Then speaker give notice for the 14 days. Then he would give 14 days notice prior to the president, and after that there would be voting against the president impeachment process. Then if 2/3 of the members of the Lok Sabha, if they are giving vote in against of the president, then the proceedings would go in the Rajya Sabha, and Rajya Sabha would act as a investigation house. Means they will investigate, they will frame a committee, and that committee would decide that thus the allegation on the president, that violation of the constitution are valid or not. Then if they are giving 2/3 vote of the in against of the president, then president would definitely would be out from the post of the president or office of the president. The same process can happen in the vice versa also, if we are going to start from the Rajya Sabha itself, and then Lok Sabha would act as a investigative house. This is the procedure of the impeachment of the president, and I hope I am able to make you understand all the things in the correct manner and right manner and in the easy way. And thanks for watching, and please share my video among your friends so that they will get benefit. Bye.